What's up, Kings fans? Welcome back to Royal Rebounds, a Sacramento Kings YouTube channel for fans, by fans. If you're a Kings fan, smash up that like button down below. And if you weren't able to watch the game tonight because it was blacked out on your local network, hit that subscribe button. Because that's kind of where I'm at here, Calvin. It's a bunch of BS, but happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I don't know what happened because ESPN is having trouble too. The Gamecast isn't working. I can't look at the box score. Maybe it's because the Kings blew away the Lakers too much. They just didn't have room for all the numbers to put in there.
Dude, the Kings were so good tonight. They destroyed ESPN.com, dude. They blew it up.
Apparently.
You're right. So I'm going to pull it up here on my phone. They're still having issues here.
Yeah, I just looked.
Wow, that's a nightmare. Anyways, Kings win tonight, 133-86 over the LA Lakers. Interesting starting lineup tonight. We had De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, KZ Okpala, Harrison Barnes, and Domantas Sabonis playing. Rashawn Holmes returned from the illness, and Keegan Murray was still out. Russell Westbrook did come off the bench for the Lakers tonight, played the sixth man role. Jeff, shout out to you. What's up? Asha, thank you guys for tuning in. Calvin, I'm going to try and get this box score up here, but give me your thoughts on this starting lineup because honestly, I like this starting lineup a lot. I think it's versatile. I like the small ball lineup here. I think they can pass, they can shoot. This is an interesting lineup for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like the starting lineup. It's not the lineup that I would go with to start most games, but it's definitely versatile, very athletic, guys that can switch a lot of positions. And look, Malik Monk, brings a lot of the same types of qualities and characteristics to a game that Kevin Huerter does, a guy that can stretch the floor. I think he's just a little bit more athletic. We saw it, on display tonight a couple times. That alley-oop dunk was pretty sweet to watch, so it's definitely good. I think the Kings have a plethora of different combinations of guys that they could throw together out there.
Yeah, shout out to Charlie here. Charlie says that the Kings broke the stat tracker for the entire NBA. Breaking news. Calvin, so 8 points for Domantas Sabonis tonight, 6 rebounds, 19 for De'Aaron Fox, 17 for Alex Len. I'm going to fix my light here 1 second. All right, there we go.
I thought you were going with the Halloween spooky look there.
Next time. There we go. Sorry. Had to fix this here. Hold on. Where was I? All right, 17 points for Alex Len. Wow. 5 points for Kevin Huerter. I didn't think he was going to be playing in this game, Calvin. But he actually played 17 minutes. 16 for Terrence Davis and 10 points for Rashawn Holmes. 9 points, 4 rebounds for Malik Monk, and 9 points for Trey Lyles. Dude, 4-0, Calvin. 4-0. How's it feel?
4-0 and 3 wins by over 30 points.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could really ask for a better. It is preseason, but I don't know if you could ask for a better preseason than this.
It is the preseason. You're right. But 2 of those wins did come against the Lakers, which feels good as a fan, but I'm not really predicting the Lakers to be too good this year. So take that for what it is, right? If it's good, if it's bad. One thing I do want to throw out here, Calvin. So the Sacramento Kings are going to be on national television one time this year. One time. This is ESPN, ABC, TNT. You know how many times the Lakers are going to be on national television this year?
Every game.
27, dude. 27 games. That's crazy. That is really crazy. Unfortunately, I was not able to watch this game, as I mentioned, due to the BS blackout restrictions. I'm 3,000 miles away, Calvin, over an ocean, and apparently I'm in the local network for the Kings and the Lakers, so I'm blacked out on League Pass.
It's a bummer. I don't know. We've had this problem here, obviously, for a long time, multiple years now, so it's unfortunate. But good news is it does get a lot easier once the regular season starts to watch, usually.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely does. And unfortunately, YouTube TV removed the Lakers broadcast like 2 years ago. So we get Clippers and I think we get Kings broadcast. So we can watch all the normal games unless they are on something like national television, like NBA TV, and then we get blacked out on both channels, which is absolutely lame. But shout out to PK here, Ivan, Apex. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Yeah, how bad were the Lakers? They're absolute trash, man. We can look here. 7 points, 2 rebounds for our old friend Damian Jones, who signed with the Lakers this year. We basically traded this guy for Malik Monk, in my mind. 12 points for LeBron James in 20 minutes. Patrick Beverley played in this game. Interesting. I know he was day-to-day with a finger injury, something he heard, I believe, in practice this morning. Played 23 minutes, 2 points, 1 rebound for him. I was afraid he was going to miss some time in this. Doesn't look like Russell Westbrook did much. 5 minutes off the bench.
I think he left early with a hamstring injury.
No Anthony Davis. No Dennis Schroeder. I know he's dealing with an injury as well. Wow. Hamstring injury for Russell Westbrook, huh? Are you sure it's not an ego injury?
I mean, sometimes your ego affects the other parts of your body, so it could be both.
Well, Ben Simmons' mental issues affects his back, so, it's possible, man. It is possible. I just am thinking of that, what is that, Game of Zones video where Carmelo's like, I am a star, and stars should be starters.
Starters, yeah.
That's exactly how Russ is feeling right now. Davion literally broke a guy down with his defense, went to his knees and turned it over. That's awesome, Jay, man. I'm going to have to check that out. When I first was reading this comment, I was like, Davion literally broke a guy. And I was like, oh, wow, dude. Because, I have to admit, Calvin, I was expecting a little violence tonight. Maybe not in this game, but Draymond Green was on the floor for the Golden State Warriors. And, the game was blacked out. So I was watching the Warriors game. As soon as I see Draymond Green get in there, turnover.
Yeah. I mean, I think Jordan Poole's just lucky that he didn't get hit in the face tonight, right? That's a win for everybody.
Oh man, that's funny. How different? Oh, can I ask you a question? How different preseason looks with Sabonis around? I mean, we saw the Kings win. What was the Summer League champion? It was 2 years ago?
It was just last season.
Last season? So, I mean, we've seen the Kings have success in the preseason and the Summer League before, but, dude, I have to say that things are different this year, Calvin. I don't know why, but I feel like things are different. Maybe I'm a Kings fan that's in denial, but things feel different, man. I love Sabonis. I feel like he's like, okay, so a lot of people love Harrison Barnes because he's kind of like that steady ship, right? That just, he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He can kind of steady the ship and help even everybody out. I feel like Sabonis is that like multiplied by a couple times. And so probably having both of those guys there, plus, I mean, in my opinion, HB is not, I don't think he's in his prime right anymore. He's kind of on the downturn. Sabonis is on the way up. Obviously a better player in my opinion. So having that attitude combined with his abilities, I think is really giving this team a lot more confidence, and especially De'Aaron Fox, right? And when you're a young team, you look up to your best players or the guys that are paid the most, right? De'Aaron Fox just signed a max deal last year. And so I think having him comfortable in his element, he feels confident going into this year that this is like the best team he's had in the past 5 years, probably ever. So, or at least as far as NBA goes, but he's got confidence, and I think that all comes from Sabonis, honestly. What about you, Cal?
Yeah, I think you certainly have to give a lot of credit to him. Look, you don't want to understate the value or what a guy like Domantas Sabonis brings to this team. He's by far the best big man that's been in Sacramento since DeMarcus Cousins. He's an all-star, and his game is so well-rounded. That's why he can have this super positive effect on a wide range, really the whole team, anybody that's out there playing with him, because he's such a great playmaker. He's a great rebounder. He's willing to do the dirty stuff, the dirty work, right? But I agree with you totally. This feels different for a much bigger reason or a bigger range scope than just Sabonis. We over the past couple of years since Monty McNair's been hired to run this team, he has been making the right moves and pushing the right buttons, I think, in every aspect of the organization. And we're starting to see the culmination of all of that stuff, the vision, come together. Obviously, there's a lot of work left to be done, right? They haven't even started the regular season. But I think that this team has a real quiet confidence around them because the pieces are starting to fit together. The roster feels like it's been really assembled correctly. Last year I thought that they had way too difficult of a log jam at the guard position. I was never, even though I love Tyrese as a player, I was never a huge fan of him and Fox playing together at the same time. It just feels like this team works together better. They're giving the features of the team, Fox, Sabonis, the right opportunities to really shine here. And then all the other supporting cast. Keegan Murray has fit in seamlessly. It seems to be, and then you add Mike Brown as the head coach.
I feel like that's not giving him his credit, man.
To come together.
Fitting in seamlessly, that's not giving him his credit, man. He's done way more than fit in.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm just trying to speak to the fact that Sabonis is a huge, important part of rebuilding this team and making them a playoff contending team again. But I think that it's on a much larger scale than that. That's why we're seeing the Kings perform, at least the way that they're performing right now, that they seem to be ahead of the curve going into the season, which is all you can really ask for.
Yeah, good point. Apex, what did Draymond say? I did not hear these comments that are going to get the Kings fired up.
I think he's referring to the interview where he said he can't stand playing against the shitty teams in the league, and he specifically referred to the Sacramento Kings and Oklahoma City. And I think it's a great point that Apex is making here. This is more fuel for the fire. I think Mike Brown being the coach of this team and having something like that happen, he's a great guy to kind of, use that as motivation for this team. And I think that it's very well said. Like the Kings are on the upswing, and some of these other teams are dealing with a lot of issues. It could work out in Sacramento's favor.
Man, fuck Draymond, dude. I'm not a big fan of that guy. PK says, I mean more in terms of developing a team by having Sabonis with new guys or just setting up a roster. Do you think Sabonis helps evaluate the skills of the new guys and just new people in the roster? Calvin, what do you think?
It's hard to tell exactly what you mean, but if you're asking, is the organization consulting him on who to bring in and stuff like that, and what guys he thinks he fits well with and plays with, absolutely. I think they've already established that this offseason they were going to rely heavily on Sabonis and Fox in terms of who should we go out and get to be our coach, who should we go out and get to play with you guys. I think that the organization definitely feels like they have two guys they can really trust in that department who also happen to be really, really good basketball players.
Yeah. And to kind of elaborate on PK's question here, does he help see the skills of new guys? I mean, he does, right? Like, he knows basketball. I'm sure Fox and him, they see a young guy on the court. They're like, okay, this guy can ball, he can play. But honestly, the Kings have just added so much top level talent, right? James Ham likes to say, that Monty is an analytical guy, right? But honestly, they've just added so many good minds, dude. Wes Wilcox from Atlanta. I remember, was it Phil Jabor they brought in? They brought in so many smart guys that know talent. So I think they kind of sift through it before it even makes it on the court for Sacramento. But yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're a good basketball player, what do they say? Game recognizes game. So I'm sure when Sabonis sees some of these young guys, he's like, okay, I see what you can do. I'm going to feed you in that spot because that's your spot, So I could see that. And yeah, Ivan, I'll take on Draymond. No worries. I mean, next Sunday, Calvin, we're going to the Kings Warriors game. You think I should dress up like Klay Thompson and try and get inside, or?
Yeah, man, go for it.
You think I would? Maybe if I dressed up like somebody else,
pretty easy.
Is it maybe Dante DiVincenzo? Is there somebody I could get away with? Maybe a little better than Klay Thompson.
Yeah, Klay might be a bit of a stretch for you. I don't know how quickly you can grow a beard or a goatee or something like that, but man, I don't know. Maybe we should take some suggestions of who Barry's NBA doppelganger is, and then we can give it a shot.
That's on the Warriors. And, don't forget, Calvin, we can go to Evangeline's or like a bunch of different costume places. Halloween's coming up, dude. I could get done up real nice, dude. Real nice. Marcus, thank you so much for the beer money.
Yes,
appreciate it. Shout out to Marcus. Why they call you Money Green when you're going to be broke in Sacramento next season? No, I think Jordan Poole was calling Draymond Mr. Triple Single.
Rick Carlisle, okay.
I got a little bit more hair than Rick Carlisle, man.
That's true. You do.
Dress up as Jordan Poole. Oh man, that'd be funny. Tokyo Drift. Okay, I do like fast cars. I've never been to Tokyo, but I do want to go one of these days. Dude, a couple years ago, they were doing one-way tickets to Tokyo from here for like $100, man. It was wild. I wish I would have done that. But Calvin, I mean, are you done dunking on the Lakers here? Can we move on, or should we keep talking about, how much the Lakers suck, how the Kings are going to be better than them this year, and probably they're going to be the reason why the Kings make the playoffs?
You mean the Fakers, not the Lakers? Yeah, look,
Yeah.
I think we talked about it a lot after the first preseason game and just how they're not set up to succeed right now. I think they've got a lot of issues. That they're going to have a rough go of things. I think as the year continues, especially if they deal with injuries, like they did last year, they're in for a bit of a long ride, and LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to have to be real special for them to be a contending team this year.
Derek, Paul Walker's not on the Warriors, dude. I don't know if they would they let a dead man
Miller.
into the locker
Brad
room?
Miller.
Maybe Brad Miller would be a better option, but then again, he's tall, man.
He's very tall, and you just cut your hair. Brad Miller's got long hair now.
Yeah, I mean, what am I at this point, Calvin? I'm 5'11" and 3/4, right? So
that's what you officially measured in at. Yes.
I think I'm 6 foot, but that's a bunch of BS, man. With shoes on, I could be 6'1". All right, let's talk about the first game, Calvin, because we got a little bit of a break, right? Today's Friday, which is nice. I'm flying to LA, like I said, here in 15 minutes. We're leaving. Gonna go to the Rams game on Sunday, hang out in LA for a little bit in Hollywood. Then I'm meeting you Wednesday morning in Sacramento. We're hanging out. We still haven't decided what we're gonna do Wednesday night in Sacramento after the game. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know in the chat. We definitely want to get together and have some beers, have a good time. Dude, we only got 16 likes right now. Come on, guys. 32 people are watching. If you're Kings fans, or if you just like this channel, if you're Calvin and Barry fans, please hit that like button. That's what we get paid in. We're not professionals. We're just having fun. We're just fans here. We get paid in likes. And so thank you. But let's talk about Game 1 Wednesday against the Portland Trail Blazers. Calvin, you want to kind of give us a little preview on this game?
Well, I think you're going to see a game pretty similar to the one we just saw with these two teams. Like the Kings have beaten up on these teams in the preseason. As of late, they're much deeper, I think, than the Lakers or the Blazers. Portland is in a very transitional phase right now. They got a lot of new faces there. I don't think they really have their rotation set down very, very well. You could make that same argument about the Kings, but I think the Kings are further along in that process than Portland is. This is kind of the brand new start here for them.
Dude, we got the bouncer here. Home
Dude, the bouncer's in the building.
Yeah,
I expect the Kings to come out at home shooting really well, and then they should win this game. I would say.
I mean, looking at this looks pretty good, Calvin. Kings are projected to win. They got a 67.6% chance of winning this game. I like it. You know, Portland's predicted to have more wins than the Kings this year, Calvin. You think maybe ESPN wants to change that or what? I mean, the Kings are undefeated. We basically won the preseason championship. Too bad Pat Beverly's not on our team. We could be celebrating right now. But, I mean, how often is it that the Kings are projected to beat the Blazers?
Well, the Kings lately aren't projected to beat very many teams, let alone Portland. But this is the year that they could change that a little bit.
Yeah, please, everybody, give your IDs to the bouncer. He needs to check them. Make sure you guys are all of legal drinking age to be here. Appreciate you all. Damian Lillard, day-to-day. Justice Winslow and Trent Waltford are the same. Oliver Sarr, Gary Payton both out. Rashawn Holmes, Keegan Murray, and Kevin Huerter all listed as day-to-day. I think the Kings are probably going to be fully healthy for this game, right? Nobody's really dealing with a nagging injury. Huerter played tonight. Murray and Holmes were both out the last game due to a sickness, non-COVID related. But they're back now, or they should be, by Wednesday. I'm excited, Calvin. This is going to be a great game. You said we're in what, 108? Is that where we're sitting?
We will be in section 108, row P, I think.
Section 108, row P. Awesome.
I believe.
So come see us if you guys want. You know, that would be fun. The Red Velvet was out tonight. I'm just so excited, dude, for basketball to start. It just feels like it's been building up, and it's been like a really long time. And we're getting teased with summer league and preseason, and the Kings are winning a bunch of games. And I think they're going to win a bunch of games this year. And maybe they will, Calvin. What are you going to say for over-under on the year? I mean, are you on the playoff bandwagon like me?
I am feeling much better about it now after seeing how Portland and LA looked this preseason. I mean, again, it's just preseason, but those were the two teams, for most of the summer that people thought were going to be competing with Sacramento for maybe those final 2 or 3 play-in spots. I think the Kings, as of right now, are ahead of those teams. I'm still not totally ready to say that they're going to avoid the play-in tournament altogether and shock people by jumping as high as 6 or 5. But I think finishing the year somewhere between 7 and 9 is very, very realistic. And then all you got to do is win, either 1 or 2 games to make the big dance. So they certainly have, I would say, as legit an opportunity to make the playoffs this year as they've had in the last 16.
Okay. And your over-under?
I think 40 wins. If they can get right around that number, they're going to be sitting pretty good, or at least give themselves a good chance, right?
Derek says, what? LOL, they lost the past 16 seasons. I mean, it's interesting when you talk about odds, right, for things. And I have no idea how Vegas does such a good job, right? Because Calvin and I have been parlaying a bunch of games every Sunday for football. And it just always seems like we're just 1 point or something off a little bit one way. And it's like, how do they always know that, right? And, for example, we learned in school, you flip a coin, right? You got a 50-50 shot if it's a regular coin, right, of heads or tails. But if you get heads 16 times in a row, it doesn't mean that your next flip you're more likely to get tails, right? You still have that 50-50 shot. But for some reason, I feel like the 16 losing seasons for the Kings makes them more likely to win this year. And I have no idea why. Maybe it's like it's not like flipping a coin. There's like a cycle, of basketball. There's like a growing cycle of your team sucks. you draft, you get a little bit better, then you compete, then you have to pay people, then you kind of level off, then you lose players, and then you got to kind of go into that rebuild before. And I think that our rebuild has just lasted much longer because of all these misses on draft picks and all these bad like organizational mistakes and trading players and all that stuff. But since Monty has been here, I think the drafting has been great. I think the moves have been great. So I think, a few years of losing is helping the Kings in terms of helping them acquire talent, not having to pay a ton of different guys. So they had cap flexibility and they're able to bring in some guys. But I feel like they're on the way up, Calvin. Don't break me down here, but I feel like they're on the way up. Well, any thoughts on that, or am I just rambling about nothing?
No, I agree with you. As you know, I'm a realist, and so yes, they're on the way up. But on the way up, when you are coming from the very bottom, still could mean that they're going to be a middle of the pack team, which is okay, right? Like if they make the play-in tournament and they win a play-in tournament game and get into an actual playoff series, even as an 8 seed, just that little taste is going to be enough for right now for a young team and a fan base that is actually absolutely dying to have postseason basketball, right? Like we just want a taste of it, and then they can build from there. It took Jordan, it took all these guys a long time to learn how to win in the most crucial moments. This is a marathon, not a sprint. But yes, I totally agree with you that it started when they hired Monty McNair, when he made that official, when he drafted Tyrese and Davion, and then he chose to trade for Sabonis. That was the beginning of actually building this team. And it's not done yet. Rome wasn't built in a day. I could throw out all the cliches you want, but this is starting to feel different. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. You guys are killing me here with some of these comments here in the chat. Shout out to all you guys, Alfie Man, Marcus, PK. Thank you guys all for joining in here. Pika House, J-Man, you guys are awesome. Ivan, Derek. Calvin, I got a couple people in here, Sass, asking, how many roster spots are left on this team. I believe one more person needs to be cut. Is that correct?
I thought it was 3 people. I thought they came to camp with 20 guys. They have to get it down to 17, and that's including 2 two-way players, which I'm assuming are going to be Keita and somebody else. I can't quite figure it out yet. But
they cut 2 already,
I will
right?
say this.
They cut Quinn Cook, and they cut Kent Bazemore. So we got 1 left, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure. I will say this, though. The Stockton Kings still have a couple open roster spots, I believe. So even if some of these guys like Sam Merrill, who I'm seeing in the chat a lot, get cut, he could still end up playing in the Sacramento area. It's just not going to be for the Kings.
Who do you think is going to be this last roster cut? I feel like it's going to be Matthew Dellavedova. I like him a lot, but for some reason I just feel it's going to be him. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised to see it be Merrill, honestly. I felt like he was kind of a late addition to this team anyway. This team's already got a lot of guards. They've got a lot of shooters. That's what he is, best at. So I know Metu hasn't really done much in the preseason, and you can argue that he doesn't really deserve to make the roster, but I would be surprised to see him go because of the connection with Mike Brown playing on the Nigerian national team. So I don't expect him to be cut. I could be wrong, but
yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why. I like Delly a lot. I just feel like it's going to be him. But then again, maybe he'll be the 3rd string point guard for them. We'll definitely see. I know a lot of people here in the chat are saying Merrill and agreeing with you. Calvin, I got to get going here. So my last question for you, can you give me a prediction for opening night Kings Blazers?
I think the Kings are going to win this game. I'm not going to say that they win by 30. I'll say that they win by a reasonable margin, something like 8 to 12 points. I think they're going to shoot really well. And I'll go player of the game is going to be Sabonis with a 20-point double-double.
Okay.
24-point double-double.
24-point double-double. Well, the last game we were at, Sabonis absolutely killed it, right? That was his first game. So that was a lot of fun. And I could expect some more of the same here. Sorry, I got one more question for you, Calvin, before we go. Who do you think will be the X factor for the Sacramento Kings this year? Who's who's going to be this guy that takes them over the top?
You can make arguments or cases for a lot of different people, I think, for different reasons. But to me, I'm going to stick with the guy that I've been riding the train for all summer before the draft. I wanted the Kings to take Keegan Murray.
Yep.
I vouched for him over and over and over again. And so far, he's made me look pretty smart. I think he's going to continue to do that. I just love his game. I think he fits onto this team really well. I think he's going to become a starter relatively short into the season. And I think he's going to finish. I don't know if he'll win Rookie of the Year, but I think he'll finish in the top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting. I think he really will have a very impactful season for the Kings.
Kings Jesus has spoken. Charlie says, wouldn't it shock me if they kept an open spot for another guy who gets cut from a different team? Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either. I know, who is it? Mo Harkless just got released, I believe, yesterday. Charlie, would you be interested in him? I mean, nobody healed here to yell at, but he knows some of the guys. I know it seems, at least to me, this offseason has been about creating chemistry for the team, whether it's bringing in guys that have played together on other teams or that have been on this team in the past. So maybe Mo Harkless comes back. That'd be interesting. Stanley Johnson also got released. Anyways, I think we got to wrap up the show, guys. I got to head out to the airport. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you all. Please don't forget to hit that like button, smash up that subscribe button. Calvin, any last words for the Kings fans out there?
Hey, if you're going to be around in Sacramento, we'd love to see you. We'll be there to ring in the new season, and we're just as excited as everybody else. So go Kings, and Barry, we'll be in Sacramento soon.
Yeah, very soon. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good evening, and go Kings.